Hello, and welcome to some Disco Elysium. Now, you might be thinking with the stream title Sober Tober, am I doing a character? Am I doing a bit? No siree. I'm not, I'll be honest, I'm not 100% sober. I may have had a little Delta 8 gummies, but I did take a nap, so I woke up, so I'm not like high, but I definitely feel the residue of it a little bit, if that makes sense to anyone. But but no, the other thing I just did a second ago was take a hit off uh one of my nicotine pens, and like it's basically out of juice, and so I took a hit out of it, and I was like, oh wow, that's a pretty good hit. But you know what? I think I'm gonna stop doing nicotine. That's one thing for sure. I'm gonna quit 100% because I tried to quit like a few months ago, and I didn't really make it. But I can definitely do it now. But like it sucks because I took that hit, and then I was like, I don't really need this stuff anymore, and I don't want it. And then like a few minutes passed, and I'm like, damn, damn, I want more nicotine. This is the problem. This is the issue. Just don't do it at all. Alright? That's the trick. But, tell you what, certainly ain't buying any more. Anyway. Morning, Kim. What do you think about my gun?
Yes?
Uh. Alright, well, I guess that's it for now. Alright. Now, yeah, if I recall, sadly, I gave Kim most of my drugs. So, the only thing I got drug wise is this and, these. Now, I forget, isn't this like a. Hmm. Hmm. Before I do anything.
I see you haven't left our little Martinez yet. Still running around. Like some kind of cross-country law official.
I still have a case to solve.
Aye. I guess you do. What's on your mind, officer?
Oh, nothing really. Alright. Uh, before we could. Okay. Sorry. I want to double check everything was working. Because, I'd rather be paranoid and vigilant rather than, like, go back and watch one of my streams and be like, I was fucking muted the whole goddamn time. What a fucking idiot. I can't pick up any of those? Damn. Alright. So it gives me one shivers, and then the only other thing would be this. Yeah. Nothing else is gonna help me out, right? Oh, I think this does. Yeah, it does. Oh, hey.
Hello. Isn't this a fine morning? Sure. What's on your mind? But of course. What else?
Something else.
You see, a once bright mural towering above you. The signage has peeled off over the years, but you can still make out Feld Electrical R&D. A slogan used to intertwine with the loops a long time ago. Now, only a shadow of peeled letters remains. It says, "Tomorrow is just a whisper away." Above the mural, a collapsed roof, broken windows set in walls that are cracking and will soon also fall, and the coastal breeze rustling and sighing in the remains of the edifice. Felled Electrical. How ironic. All these dark rooms. Felled Electrical, you only know them as a small company that makes ink cartridges. Looks like they used to be big. There's something in the wind. Sometimes the only way to go forward is to fail first.
In there? She could. Or she could be in the identical room over there, or in that boat shack, in that church tower, maybe.
Why single out this one building?
Because it's very obvious. So I get +3 for finding the empty trap, +3 went on a date, +1 confronted the pigs, +2 established the nightclub, +2 discovered the the anomaly. What the fuck is the anomaly? Anomaly? Anomaly. I don't know why I want to say anomaly, because it's not that. It's anonymal. Anonymy? Anomaly. Is it? I don't know words, man. Hold on a moment. I want to save, because I forget if you, like, once you make this check, can you, like, not go back?
All is quiet. There is no cold hand brushing against your forehead. No rustle in the reeds. The wind has died down or gone behind a corner. You only hear distant waves washing the coast. The ruin in front of you is silent as a tomb.
What was I even attempting to do here?
Trying to talk to the wind, the city. Whatever you thought would happen did not. And now you're just standing there in the pale of the morning with your hands fallen to your side. Is trying to talk to the city something you've done before? Is it in your secret repertoire? A trick for when you're out of ideas?
Yeah.
How do we? I was really hoping she'd be in the village. Okay. She's probably north of the village, and this place is a peninsula. We already scanned most of the outdoor areas on our wild cryptid hunt, so we have an understanding of the geography, at least. And then there's the church. We've already searched that and can rule it out. I know it doesn't feel like progress, but exclusion is a step too. Anyway, we do it the old-fashioned way, sector by sector. Go over the whole peninsula, ask the locals, enter the places where we can enter first, like we did in the village. Then, if we're desperate, we can look where we can't enter. Bunkers, storm drainage, this place. I'm sure it won't come to that.
Walk the coast, the old boardwalk, the reeds. You can always come back here and talk to the wind again. Look where it already got you. An adventure awaits. An adventure on the windswept urban coast. Buckle up and raise your collar. This search is going to be wet and cold.
Oh. Cool. Ooh. Oh yeah. Arno Van Eyck. Or Ike? I forget. I want this.
Someone has left an unidentifiable article of clothing on this railing. It smells really bad. It's streaked with dried seagull shit and tangled with pieces of seaweed. A dangling arm suggests that there might be a jacket beneath the crust of filth. It seems likely that it was left in the surf until someone laid it out on this fence to dry out. Unfortunately, that just seems to have stiffened it into a shapeless mass.
Please tell me you're not taking that with you.
Why not?
It's a guano-encrusted jacket, and you're already carrying around enough as it is.
Fine.
There's some tear, an empty...
Alright, I have no idea what the plan is, no clue what I'm gonna do, but I'm just gonna kind of wander around until I find something to do. try and mess with that, but yeah. Should come back here when it snows. Interesting. Okay. Damn, I can never pick up anything. Maybe you can if you get the hobo cop thought, but I don't know. Where's my tie? There it is. Isn't, yeah, that's too fast for facts. Just change my shoes. Cleaning out the rooms. Yep. Forgot I gotta go up here. There's like a fast travel feature, and I should honestly be using that, but I don't even know how to do it. Oh, hey now.
The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench.
We can sit on benches after we've solved the...
Oh yeah. No, I'm all good for waiting to sit on benches till we solve the murder, but like, I was thinking I would be able to talk to him.
Officer, care to play a game with the lonely old man? Actually, never mind. Wouldn't be the same.
Where's Renee?
The prick is gone. I can barely believe it. But he's really gone.
He is trying to retain his jolly facade, but the underlying sadness casts a deep shadow over his wrinkled face.
Hell, most likely. He was an absolute Kent.
How'd he die exactly?
His hungry little heart finally gave out. The dock workers found him in the guard booth this morning. Wasn't even supposed to be working for another week, but he just had to prove how tough he is.
Did he feel like he has to prove he can still pull his weight? Doesn't need handouts?
Guess he was about to head home, 'cause when the dock workers found him, he was wearing civilian clothes and not the Kuketu uniform I saw him in all the time. Sometimes I thought he was wearing it just to piss me off. Now the joke's on him, 'cause he's gonna be buried without it. No, René was the most stubborn man in Revachol. Nothing you or I could say would ever push him to do anything. The man was completely immovable.
He has doubts, but right now, he just wants to move on and not think about it.
I repeat, an absolute can't. Even his old army buddies didn't want him around. He was like an old viper. The only people who could stand to be around him were Jenny and me. She saw something in him when we were just kids, and she never lost sight of it. And I thought if the most beautiful being in the world can love him, then there must be something worth holding on to. We've hated each other our entire lives. So much, in fact, that... Yes, I loved that angry prick. He didn't deserve it, but I did. You know what his last words to me were? In Guillaume's time, you'd have been shot without trial. That's what he said to me. He lived a cunt, and he died a cunt. Let's leave it at that. I took them for myself. Took them to remember that old cunt. Nobody knew him better than I did. And I want to remember that old cunt by something.
Strange how old cunt sounds almost gentle when he says it now.
No.
Let me see. This was 60 years ago. We all went to that parade. Young René looked so happy, and Jenny... I'm sorry, officer. I just... Thank you. Thank you for this little memorabilia. It really means the world to me.
That was nice. A small thing for us, but invaluable to him. He probably didn't even know René had the photo. Yes, we are both very sorry for your loss.
It is what it is. Part of life, really. But to know someone for 79 years, then one day they're just gone. I just don't know anymore. About anything, really. But you must need something. René wasn't really what you'd call a botanist, officer. And believe me, he didn't like Insulindian lilies. That's their old name, dating back to the time of kings and crests, and all that other stuff he loved so much. There were many reasons, but mostly it was the communals. They called them the Bells of Revolution. I guess in the end, the Insulindian lilies were just another piece of the old Insulinde. The royalists had to surrender to the Mazovian insurgents. It doesn't really matter anymore. Yes? What about René?
Yes.
Oh.
It is... I just don't know anymore. About anything, really. Officer, I just can't do this right now. The Union, it just doesn't matter anymore.
No.
The tracks are as they have ever been. A bit more worn, perhaps. Fortunately, the street sweeper still hasn't noticed their presence.
No wonder the cafeteria manager seemed frustrated when he was giving us directions to the yard. Well, you did provide us with a very convenient access point to the crime scene.
Well, if it's snowing right now, maybe I should go back to that, to the other area. I forgot, I don't have to come up here. In fact, it was a dumb idea to come up here. What's up, Tommy?
Now it's turning into a kind of a snow limbo, man. What's on your mind?
That's all.
The tear machine steps. Your bottles clunk into the machine, and the money appears with a satisfying jingle. You're a richer man now.
Yay. Banning overdraft.
Hola, wandering man. How can I help?
Now, did I come all the way up here to steal this old man's clothes? Yes.
This is the night watchman's booth. The name on the door reads, René Arnaud. René left his uniform neatly folded on the table. Take it. It's just there. Who cares? It's not like anyone's gonna need it.
I suppose René is not going to be needing it anymore. It's a bit too colorful for my taste, though.
I'm down here.
Fantastic. Try not to wear it with other similarly colorful clothes, okay?
Okay. Let's see, what does this even do? Ah, +1 to that. And then vigilance. Interesting. Okay, Edward's still here. I'm gonna go in here for a little second.
Welcome back, gentlemen. What can I do for you? Traveling. This is a great way. By the way, let me now ask you a question. Where are we exactly?
In the very, very early days of colonizing this archipelago, the kingdom of Sirens, a precursor of a modern Sur-le-Clay. Used to own the city of Revachol, an obscure detail in the bigger picture, but still worth dropping.
Ah, Revachol. I remember walking its streets as a teenager. There used to be a bowling alley in Stella Maris. I wonder if it's still there. It's a shame I can't get out and explore myself. One of the downsides of being an smart luxury yachts, high-fidelity portable radio systems, pale crew, don't get...
He speaks from the heart. He has very different problems compared to low net worth individuals such as yourself. For example, no problems at all.
Go right ahead.
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with any traffic. I'm sorry, now that I...
That sure narrows down our list of suspects.
He shakes his head.
Sure, let me have a look. Alright, let's see it. Oh, no, 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 no. I don't need bloodthirsty mercenaries knocking on my door looking for their missing toys. Besides, this gear costs a fortune. There's no one in Martinez with that kind of money. Anything else you're thinking of selling?
Well, if it's a sin, I'm gonna sin, baby. I'll sell those for cash when I'm sure.
Another time, perhaps.
Oh. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I got a lot of stuff I should be doing.
worn by elements. You rattle the handle a bit.
We don't get in there. Frank.
No. We've got an...
Yeah, relax.
At least you can think about... A metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. You hear the tone. The machine is inoperable. Calling. Still calling. This feels wrong. Should you be doing this? End of tone. Someone picks up.
Pierre, is that you, Pierre? So nice of you to find the time to call me. It gets so lonely. Even the animals have died. Are you sure you're Pierre? Your voice, it's different.
Her voice is drowned in white noise. Sounds like waves washing a beach, growing in volume until the call suddenly disconnects. You get a sinking feeling. It makes you look if Lieutenant Kitsuragi overheard you. To your relief, he did not. Calling. Still calling. Again? Seriously? Someone with a masculine voice picks up.
Hello, Gerard speaking.
Hello, Gerard. Technically speaking, you're electricity. No, what you are is a surprise. Get his wife on the phone.
What does that mean?
Who is this? Who the fuck do you think you are talking to me like that?
Mazab. Kraz Mazab.
Very funny, asshole.
Phone hanging up. Disconnect tone. Calling. 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 Still calling. Still calling.
Stop calling me, man. I'll get you your money, alright? I just need till tonight. Let me work. Tethys. Hey! You're not Tethys. Screw you, and don't ever call here again. You're fucking with some serious people.
Disconnect tone.
Oh, okay.
Calling.
I'm tired.
Sounds like he hasn't talked to anyone in quite a while.
Writing. I hate writing so much. But I have to get back to it.
The man disappears with a sigh. You do not hear the customary disconnect tone, just silence in the handset. The machine is still waiting for you to dial a number. Seems like it did not have time to swallow the coin. This sometimes happens. Lucky you. The call went too fast for the payphone to register. You can still make a new one without paying. You close your eyes and put your index finger on the rotary dial. Then pull down on the number. Then move one up. And repeat the motion. Twice. Strange. This is not how you started before. Four 414447. The rotary dial feels cold from the sea air. 1117361. Your fingers keep moving like a spider. Every time the ring rotates back with a little ring of metal, like a bell tolling. Yes, 451-67451. You are going deeper now, into some unknown place, far away from this island of matter and its telecommunication networks. You have dialed God knows how many numbers. The headset has been waiting silently to relay a signal. Surely nothing can come of this, you think. But it does. A connection. An ultra-long distance call. Your air fills with a crackle, the wash of a strange ocean full of white noise. A little bird starts ringing in there, not like the local calling tone before. No, a small ring in a cage of distortion. Far away, a distant network of phones, calling in the night. The saddest sound in the world. Calling still. The handset starts slipping from your sweaty palm. Your breathing is heavy. The lieutenant is too far away to hear your yelp. The sea wind blows. Calling, 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 calling still. Then the ocean breaks. Out of the depths, a woman's voice emerges. Small. The dearest thing you've ever heard.
Hello? Who is this? You're not a revolutionary, Harry. You're drunk.
You only have 2, maybe 3 things left to say before the change runs out.
Oh, God. Do you know what time it is? It's so late here. It's 4 o'clock, Harry. I need to wake up in 2 hours. I'm in Morova, sleeping.
22 million people live in Morova, the capital city of Grad. It is the capital of the world after Revachol was destroyed.
What do you want to talk about that we haven't talked about already?
This is bad. You feel your right hand on the handset cramping up with pain.
To work. The academy, where I work.
No response, only a sigh. The connection crackles like burning paper. She does not answer anymore.
Harry.
Disconnect tone. The machine ran out of money.
Wow. Alright, it's Shivers time. There's my cloak.
The once bright mural towers above you, saying, Feld Electrical, R&D. Tomorrow is just a whisper away. Suddenly, there's a sigh, carried on the molecules around you, moving, flowing from high pressure to low pressure, like that of a woman emptying her lungs. She wraps the collapsing stone box in front of you in her breath, flowing through it, in through the collapsed roof, flowing down a concrete staircase to the basement, sweeping away footprints in the dust on the stairs, and then the beach below the boardwalk, its winding tunnels, a whisper away.
down there.
Okay. Why? Good, good, yes. Cold spells. So basically your hangover is telling you she's down there? So, how do we get in there? The doors were on the collapsed side of this building. They're gone, basically.
Finally, my time to shine.
Perhaps you can climb them. We are not climbing anything. I'm 43 years old, and I plan to live to see 70.
A rusty ladder leads to the rooftop. Some of the rungs are missing.
Yeah, that doesn't look good at all.
The distances between the remaining rungs are rather wide. You'd have to use the mounting brackets. However, they seem corroded, and the peeling rust is razor sharp. In addition, the first rung is going to be tough to reach. It's what, 3 meters above the ground, and you're 180? Not to mention that the roof is collapsing and the wind gets pretty brutal up there. Dismounting from the ladder is going to be hard. Perhaps if you were to not climb the ladder. Instead, what if you were to do something more subtle? What if you were to reconceptualize climbing the ladder?
Teleportation is not a thing.
Even if it isn't, no one told you.
That's not how physics work, Detective. And even if it were, wouldn't you need some kind of apparatus? A teleportation field or...
What are they talking about?
Teleportation, Mikhail. It's generally thought impossible.
Oh yes, it could hurt. A lot.
Alright.
All you need to do is close your eyes and concentrate. Darkness enfolds you. You can feel the distance between the bench and the first rung of the ladder. All you need to is... Zoot, zap, pow, crinkle! It's like magic. You feel yourself disappear, your atoms fading out of existence.
Oh my god, I can't believe it.
Bam! You find yourself on the roof, having mastered the art of physical displacement.
You know, for the record, you didn't teleport there. You just climbed the ladder with your eyes closed.
The wind at the top of the building starts howling loudly, blowing away the lieutenant's voice. Faintly you hear...
Never mind. Find a way to let me in when you get inside. Don't go adventuring with a backup, especially if we think the suspect may be hiding here.
A hole. Oh, cool.
Two rusty metal plates that slide apart form a crude door. It's been here under the boardwalk for a while.
What do you mean, who's there? It's me, Kim. Stop playing around and help me get the door open.
The doors seem to be on rails, but they've gotten jammed. You grab a side and put some strength into prying it open. With the help of your partner, the two metal panels slide open with a creak.
Huh. I hope no one dangerous heard that. After you climbed up to the roof, you mean? There's a maintenance entrance under the boardwalk. It's next to a drain pipe, possibly a storm drain. It was easy to miss before.
He's quite proud of himself.
At least now we have an exit, so let's get going. It's time to investigate these passages.
Oh yeah. But we don't want to go too far, because I made that mistake. Alright? I'm playing it cautious. I'm playing it cool. I wonder if anything happens if, like, I take Kim up here. What's up? Got anything to say?
Yes?
No, I guess not. Alright. How much time I got left? 41 minutes on that. 7 hours on that. 1 hour on that. I gotta say, it's crazy that, you know, I had that phone call. I don't remember if I've had that before in my last playthrough. Rats! Oh, hey, little guys. Bye, little guys. I love you. I'm your king. Don't forget that.
This isn't just glass. These are old computation components. Yes, filament memories. From the time when wires were cast in glass, slides with an inlaid nervous system. The how was a closely guarded secret. Something that was locked in safes in human heads across the river where they were manufactured. As to why, your fingers don't know. The why is easy, because they hadn't come up with modern silicon-based systems yet. For vitreous cast filament memories, though, these seem incredibly advanced.
So it is. I think it is used to form a single system, slotted in the wall. The rest of the building seems to have been picked clean. These? No. These are old filament memories. I hope you're not expecting to find that device here. You will be disappointed.
No. Hey. +1 suggestion. Ah. Nice. Ooh.
A mustachioed and mutton-chopped man, amateurishly depicted, gazes at you with sad eyes. The plaque reads, K. Mazov. There is a spiderweb in the lower left corner of the portrait. Years' worth of dust is shaken off. The full head of hair, matched by an ample moustache and sideburns, look a bit silly. Someone crouches, heels digging into wet sand. Hands sweep across the sand. Grains stick into the frayed skin of the fingertips. An old man sits on a slab of concrete and taps his fingers against the glass of a scope. You shudder.
Yes, I can see that. Looks like some communists were hiding out here. They left a long time ago.
The lieutenant does not seem to share your enthusiasm.
Half a century? This was probably part of the network of defense posts the communards built against the amphibious landing. I think the purpose of this bunker was to produce propaganda. It would have had radio equipment back then, but that's all been looted. We have found a lot of those lately. I guess what most people think of as history tends to linger in rundown neighborhoods. Martinez being what it is, no one has gone through the trouble of cleaning out the old bunkers.
Good hiding place for someone who's up to no good.
I won't stand in your way, but only after we're through with this case. Millions of depictions of Mazov have been produced. They're not all connected. Besides, that looked like some student. The youths always go for this kind of stuff. You mean like Ruby? No, I think we've stumbled on a piece of history.
Alright. Hey. I was wondering where this hat was. Hey.
This hat is so soft, so warm. It wraps around your head, and your mind tingles with all manner of socio-economic theory. Kraz Mazov would have worn this, Yushenka. Marzov knew where to cook those thoughts. That's why it bears a Mazovian logo. Glory to the revolution, comrade. Whether you like it or not, wearing this hat has made you more communist.
Hell yeah. Oh shit, if I fucking put on the fascist thing, I'll probably be like, hey, whether you like it or not, this is gonna make you more fascist. I'm gonna avoid that. I didn't necessarily mean to make a new save, but whatever. Okay, I can't go that way.
There it is again, like a swarm of hornets buzzing under your scalp. A strange tingling you can almost smell.
No, what do you mean? I don't feel it, but we should still be careful. There were footprints back there, and I'm pretty sure they were fresh. No, but you are the sensitive one.
It's not a quib. The situation is dangerous.
Looks like our suspect. If she's in here, we need to plan our next step carefully. Once we detain a credible suspect, who knows what the Union and the Wild Pines will do? We'll set in motion events we have no control over.
You will upset the balance of power in Martinez. The deadlock between the company and the Union will destabilize. This part of town is a fine clockwork puzzle. Disturb its peace, and it will start breaking down uncontrollably. Keep calm. Go over the whole situation in detail.
I don't know. Little things. But you're right. We've gotten everything we can from the Union. We even opened that container.
You've been very, very thorough there. Your fingers approve.
I still don't think that was a good idea. But yes, our affairs with the Wild Pines are in order, since she isn't in Martinez anymore. You mean Morel? I don't see how cryptozoology and the murder investigation are connected, but the situation in the city will get tense for everyone.
If it gets that tense, the amateur zoologists might not be able to do their job.
Well, we are not responsible for what we can't predict, are we? I don't think the entire city will be razed to the ground.
If you can't predict it, there's nothing you could have done.
I think I see a cavern. Maybe more cellars? I think we've been careful enough. We still have the element of surprise.
I wouldn't be so sure. You haven't exactly been sneaking.
Or maybe not. Either way, once we go deeper, there will be no turning back.
Alright, well that's why I'm gonna turn back right now. Listen, I just realized if I go here and I finish this up, then I'm not gonna be able to talk to the cryptozoologists. How are they gonna discover the phasmid, Kim? How will they do it? Alright. Hey.
Hello. Isn't this a fine morning?
Oh, I thought you would comment on me getting up there. Okay. Yeah, I think first things first, I'm gonna go talk to Noid. I want to make sure our signs are right.
Oh, the god of dance is back! I'm dancing with the god of dance! Goodbye, officer.
Hard cop.
Hard cop.
You got us in, cop! I can't believe you got us in!
With wonder in his sharp eyes.
Between you and me, I don't know if you've noticed this about me. I'm a little suspicious of authority, but you You really came through for the hardcore underground.
Yes, you really came through for the hardcore underground. How come?
The would-be leader is cutting some futuristic shapes on the floor, sweating profusely. A cell using her contact mic to listen to a tree underwater. The one with the large head is blasting the dance track on repeat, while the stained glass window behind him is rattling from the base. Sire, the tent. 'Twas a security risk. And in here, sanctuary. 'Twas only noble of you.
This kid's got spunk. I admire that. I'm genuinely into the hardcore lifestyle. You wouldn't understand, Kim. I'm a corrupt cop, Kim. This is a corrupt scheme. Did it for mankind. For all of mankind. I'll lie.
Okay.
It's a miracle of carpentry. Dead bodies carved into total shapes. Now it can be something more. I don't say much anything as a carpenter anymore. They tried to make me into a reckoner and a leveller. Made me a bit manic, you know. I regret the time I dedicated to that profession and that worker collective. I say things more as a member of the hardcore side dance community these days. Why? You're a cop. I carry carpentry tools. That's right. The first settlers built it, plus 6 more like it, on the coast here. Was one of the first things they did. Must have been really scared of something, I understand. Alone on an uninhabited archipelago, forced to face themselves and nature. Pre-industrial quantities of solitude. You see, perhaps something more fundamental. I would want to build a safe place for myself and my own as well. Maybe they were unable to face the nature of the world, perishing. A cop who's into building critique. Okay then, this is folk DeLoreanism, lawmongerer. It's a subset of early DeLorean architecture, art of core. Total. Everything between an ancient concrete cathedral and a glass cube is DeLoreanism. This is just an homespun version of it. Folksy stuff. Early mass production. They made thousands like this. Does that help you out? Like that woman there. Vertical, thin, white. A false image of grandeur. The source of the system is up there. You're at the bottom. They really dug that power vertical. Like to show off large and intricate structures. Arches, spires. Put you down with them. They were really into painting everything white too. Virginal shit, you know. Married shit. Virtue and tyranny. Right. Stands to reason it used to be white on the outside before the sea wind took all the paint off.
Year after year, flake after flake, whitewashed clean, then covered in green moss, slowly peeled by the wind. Your skin crawls from the sensation as you look around.
Dead bodies of perennial plants. Sigma functions have left this place. It's a good thing we came along. The spiritual collapse has been total. I saw some piglets suckling their dead mother. Have you heard this one, cop man? After a short while, they shuddered and went away. They had sensed that she could no longer see them, and that she wasn't like them anymore. What they loved in their mother weren't her body, but whatever it was that made her body live. End of quote. This is an high-quality carcass. The power of anodic beats and hard bass is needed to reanimate it. A Sarai's man who lived a long time ago, an ancient hardcore brother. It never was. A 3,000-year-old regime of history, built by hundreds of generations of self-appointed intellectuals. It's false to the core.
The way he says it, the force in false core, is invested with 20 kilotons of disgust.
I only said unity. One word. Figures of authority always misquote you. Andre doesn't care about the Ecclesiastes. He just wants the operation to run smoothly. And Egg is a demi-beast. You shouldn't listen to what people say. You should listen to what they are. But were you wrong? The founding party is okay with everything. Look around. They don't have enough love for the human crew to oppose anything anymore. We're on our own. Anodic dance music. Regular dance music wasn't hard enough. And yes, I do. I don't. Fuck are giving me the evil eye. No wonder. We have to get rid of it. Dismantle it. Can't dance with a giant mass murderer looking at ya. Not a good look for the club.
Mellow, man, mellow. No one's a mass murderer. This is a house of love. Mass murder on the floor.
But she's pretty. Yeah, but like, who isn't accused of being a mass murderer these days? The resettlement programs were totally okay. I'm a big fan of resettlement programs for some reason. I do feel there's something terrifying about her.
There is. She is a party repellent and must be taken down before we can begin partying in here. Will do.
No, Noid. Stop twisting my melon, man. People are gonna love it. It'll be our thing. Plus it keeps the cold out.
Humanism leads to eating sugar and pigs. Humanism was invented to mass produce billions of humans. Billions of humans can mass produce hundreds of billions of pigs.
And many, many more tons of sugar.
She liked games. Her legacy, the thing we live in, isn't real life. It's a strategy for some kind of victory against a long-dead opponent. But, yo, I'm only annoyed. What do I know? She invented the beauty you're feeling. She and her glass cutters and iconographers. You set the standard, alright. Then you meet it. It's effective like that, but it is also very soft of core. That so-called beauty of hers. In the true life of tomorrow, every woman will be an innocence. They will wear neon headbands and leggings, and they will glow in the dark. The world spirit does not have a body. It has organs. Hardcore is an organ of the world spirit. This Arno van Eyck track is an organ. The carpentry and glass cutting that built this house are also organs. She's a thief, if you ask me. An organ thief. All innocences are.
Fair enough. Also, I'll be honest, when he said house, I thought he said ass. And I was like, damn, bro. I realized you were packing. But, now, this is a serious question. Would you say she was, you know, human?
I like this question, Cop Man. She did not live the life of a human. She lived like someone who's playing a game. The life of an operator. That's not the life that humans live. She was adored. Humans aren't. I don't know about you, but they hate me. And they do not think I'm innocent or some shit like that. Well, they loved her. They put all their love in her and forgot all about the rest of us. That's not the life that humans live. She was adored. Humans aren't. I don't know about you, but they hate me. And they do not think I'm innocent or some shit like that. Yes.
This speed freak does not quite understand the sudden escalation of emotion in that argument, but he agrees nonetheless.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I'm done talking about her.
What a strange choice of words. Caustic, overflowing with negativity. That can't be healthy. What's happening here? Why do you keep coming back to this window?
I don't know.
Well, you shouldn't. You shouldn't come back to this anymore. Stop talking about it, please.
How you settling in?
Hard to say, Cop Man. Signs in here are distinctly wild. Gonna take a while before everything's properly synced. I did get to talk to the Crabman, though.
You mean Tiago?
Anyway, he's been giving me kind of a psychic rundown of this place. Dude's seen some crazy shit, but he's actually a lot like us.
You mean all his mother's love stuff? Isn't it too spooky for you? What do you mean?
The man picks up on stuff, and he knows a lot about the church. I got a lot to learn from him. Good thing you didn't squash him. Dead body, spirit entered. What is there? I did get anyway. Dude's seen some crazy shit.
Sorry about that.
Have you been listening to what Egg's been saying? Love is hardcore, man. And the mother's love is the hardest core of all. The man picks up on stuff, and he knows a lot about the church. I got a lot to learn from him. Good thing you didn't squash him. The Crabman's been lurking here for a while. He's experienced things that give off bad signs. As far as we can tell, the Ubies built this place about 320 years ago as a sarcophagus.
You mean there are dead bodies here?
Not like a literal sarcophagus. I'm just being metaphorical.
Well, what's it for then?
Encasement, confinement, of something they were afraid of. Something new and unheard of on the Isla. I think that's what the Crabman is experiencing when he climbs around upstairs. Like, this is some old world shit the Ubies had heard about. I thought the best way to deal with it was to build a church, surrounding it, to contain it. I don't know, and it's not something they properly understood either, what it does, but it's what this Sona person is looking for, and trying to measure. It'll be fruitless though. She won't be able to measure it. People like that always want to measure everything. All those things they really can't.
The wood creaks as a gale blows by. Outside, dust particles fall through the darkness, settling down on the age-bleached floorboards. The structure does not feel particularly durable.
This building seems less than structurally sound. And don't make fun of me of how I say my words, okay? I am drunk and high, and actually I'm none of those things. I don't have an excuse.
No, it's pretty fucking unsound if you ask me. They should have built a club for anodic music around it instead. Anodic music will definitely contain whatever we're dealing with, and if it can't, well...
Well, what makes you think Sonya's gonna fail?
Seems to be the trend around here, doesn't it? You can't measure shit like this. It's not like substance. Like a concentric ring spreading out. The struggling villages. And that is what caused the communards to fail in defending the beachhead. Yeah, a lot of failure has gone down around here. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. It's not a thing we can answer, Cop Man. Even I have limits. I'm a limited size person. Maybe you can figure things out, Cop Man. I think we got on a good level here. The signs are syncing up well. Suspicious people are esoteric people. We don't go around spilling everything to Johnny Law. They don't call me Noid for nothing. It took us setting out for this whole enterprise to get our signs synced. It's short for paranoid. A reasonable question. Say I get hurt. I want to make sure it never happens again. So I analyse the situation. Exercise caution. Caution is suspicion. It'd be easier to list stuff I'm not suspicious of. I'm not suspicious of sound and colour. Mechanics and chemistry also have a trueness about them. Most anything else deceives. Wants to steal your life away.
But what are the most suspicious things?
I don't have a top 10 list of things I'm most suspicious of. But if I had one, The left-right complex would be number 1. Number 2 would be their sole accomplishment, the pig-wheat paradigm.
Something is off here. You feel like it should be the other way around.
What? Oh, yeah.
No, politics is an inert complex of daily corruption and inane think pieces. The real paradigm is economic, and it concerns pig and wheat. This is where the innovation happens. It's only a theory, but I suspect they're breeding a pig-wheat hybrid. Probably in Grad. I prefer not to. Both ask the wrong questions. Any spark of light from either one is accidental. Their combined movement's only concern is producing enough pig and wheat for everyone. The end goal of humanity. The original mistake was assuming that words have more being than bodies. That's what led us astray. Far from our true lives, but we may yet find a way back.
So what's so suspicious about the production of pork and wheat?
It's our only shit. We should make better use of not being animals or cereal grain ourselves.
Animals are cute. Yeah, it's only our shit, and we fucking suck at it.
Yes, having food is means to an end, but the left never talks about the end, only the means. Caps are likewise suckers, constantly sleepless in worry. It's our only shit. We should make better use of not being animals or cereal grain ourselves. Nothing. Animals are cool, guys. I like animals too, but that doesn't mean I have to be one myself.
His eyes flicker.
They're hardcore.
That's it?
They're just clothes.
I thought there would be more to it.
It's just a style, you know, normal hard style. Anyone can wear it. But life is true if it's free from fear, an internal division among oneself. And others, mankind has seeds of greatness in it. A germinal will come, a return to trueness. It will be hardcore.
How would you go about returning to this true life?
Beats and bright lights to shatter falsehoods. Nerve impulses for the collective body. We are very much alike in basic structure. An hard enough beat would awaken everyone to a truer calling. In unity.
Just like that. The speed freak is right in your face. His eyes burning. His comrades look on worriedly. The young man is dead serious about this. Rejection of the right-left axis. Emphasis on unity. Appreciation of some primordial mode of being. What does that remind you of?
Sorta like fascism, then?
Nationalism, militarism, racism, and emphasis on a leader character are totally absent in hardcore.
Fair enough.
He picks up a wrench and scratches his head with it, unaroused by fascism.
Utmost dedication. Thoughts from the spinal cord. It's a potent superlative as well.
The term also signifies certain varieties of pornography that depict penetration, just so you know.
Egghead usually has a better concept of the hardcore. He just really likes saying hardcore. Hardcore! That's a pretty hardcore coincidence, don't you think? Yeah! Many non-Occidental cultures share a beat at their art. Thus, they are closer to true hardcore life. There's just never been enough of them, and they had to rely on some extremely basic percussion. Oh yeah, Sure thing.
Ooh.
Fairweather T500. Remember that weakness you were looking for in the ceramic armor? Like, maybe it can only stop small, fast projectiles, but a large, slow-moving pry bar would shatter it? Or, if I run an electrical current through it, maybe it will melt. Or, personal favorite, frequency something something radio weapon? None of that would work. You need to shoot the part of the enemy that doesn't have Fairweather T500 on it, because the armor itself is invulnerable. Good news is, so are the armor pieces on you.
All right. So what's the thing I need for this? Reaction speed.
Yes, what is it?
Good morning, comrade! Yeah!
The mother of humanism, Stan.
Alright.
Parker.
So let's see, what can I do for my reaction speed? Probably not much. That, well, reaction speed. Can afford one level up on him.
Parker.
Dang.
The silver bird has already flown away. I will catch it later.
Alright. Okay, let's change up my outfit here. I think for the moment, we're gonna go full kind of empathy. There.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? I'm afraid they're closed. It says here that...
We should try again, Drew.
Anything else, Detective?
Alright.
In the cabin, you see a set.
Let's talk to Titus about the pigs.
The Coppernado is back. What do you want? What's that, Copper? You want us to help little old ladies now?
You're local law enforcement, aren't you? Helping troubled civilians should fall under your jurisdiction.
Yeah. We'll send someone out. Who is? Wait. It's the pigs, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the pigs.
God. Poor lady. Don't worry. We'll handle this. I think she got some family in Coorong or something. Bastards left her alone when she got sick. We've been getting complaints.
Hey, wasn't Everard's B team looking for her the other day? They said something about her, I don't know, finding something?
Yeah, I think you're right, Gene. She have something of yours, Pig?
She had my gun.
You're fucking with me. Your gun. She had your fucking gun?
Sure did, boss. Heard him loud and clear. The pigs lost his gun to the pigs.
Well, at least I can see you got it back. If you have any questions.
What's her real name?
Auntie LaPlante, we always called her. Something LaPlante.
Marianne, amigo. Fuck you, pig. What the fuck you are playing at, huh?
Oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Easy, Al. Don't let him get to you. Have one for Auntie LaPlante, huh?
Don't disrespect Miss LaPlante, Copper. She's good people. We all get a little crazy sometime. Auntie...
Marianne, amigo.
Be anything else you wanted to know?
Who was she?
Was. Like before. Just an old lady. Her kids moved away years ago. Never come to visit. Never took her calls. She gets out every now and then. She did right by lots of us when we were kids. Always was a little off. But still.
Us kids? That must have been ages ago. She was better then. The children kept her together.
Wanted to be a cop, you mean? Well, shit. I don't actually know. Anyone know why she started acting like a pig?
No fucking clue. It's gotta be the crazy. Who'd want to be a pig? No, I didn't. Because I'm not fucking stupid, Polizonte.
Yeah, Carl. That's some pretty fucking weird shit to say. The pigs level weird. But whatever gets you through the day.
I'm a weird guy, what can I say? Where did she get all that cap gear anyhow?
Dunno. She lives by the water. Shit washes up all the time on the beach.
Police paraphernalia doesn't just wash up on the coast, people. It's not like we dump it at night. She bought it, collected it.
Well, thanks for helping me out, Titus.
No problem, old cop man. We take care of our mentally ill here in Martinez. Ain't that right, boys?
Sure enough, we're the real heroes on these streets.
Yeah? What?
Yeah, thanks for the review.
Anything else you want, Cobb?
Nope, peace out. Ooh.
Tremble. The time is now. Taola. Time for the show. For Taola. The hallowed time of fear and disintegration. A countdown has begun. All will collapse on itself. The world will disappear into a single grain of blackness. All sound will be muted. All life will scream. Ulogu Theodos, Xeno Zausin, Ipoli Osidhian, Echondes Fronisin. Monday morning, the moment you arrived in this reality, are the first crack in the sheer face of God. From you it will spread. Yes, you spoke the words of the Palindropos and the houses of Pericarnassus. Items, people, even words will tumble. All will lose its meaning in the coming years. That is why you marked yourself. It's totally also a coping mechanism.
I'm a little afraid.
So you should be. The world island crumbles at your feet, and in the far plain, Palindropos. Perhaps, just a thought, this has something to do with the hangover.
Do you think the world might end soon?
The face of the woman fractures. There will be herd killing. We all become vapor.
Alright. Yeah, so if I go here, got 6 for Superstar Cop, 3 for Apocalypse Cop, 7 for Sorry Cop, and 4 for Boring Cop. Then we got 48 Communist, 1 Fascist, 2 Ultra-Liberal, and 3 Moralist. 37 Good Cop, Bad Cop, 2 Honor, 3 people killed, case solved 216, 18 years. Alright.
Hi again, Gendarme. Bye-bye, Gendarme.
Again? I can't believe...
Okay.
It's great to see you again, officer. My wife can't wait to thank you. Go on, talk to her.
Oh, sweetie, I don't even know how to thank you for finding my husband and helping him out. I hope we haven't been too much trouble for you.
Just doing my job, ma'am.
Here, I want to give you a small token of my gratitude. It's a tie. Mexican origin. The pin is an antique. Quite special.
The little silvery knob holding the tie together feels warm in your hand. It's in the shape of an avian skull with 8 eyes. You could ask her about this when you get the time. It's probably a cryptid, but the phasmid, of course, is more important.
Oh, you don't want to hear about some old woman's ramblings.
Ramblings? Nonsense. Your description of the phasmid is the most precise I've ever heard.
But, darling, I didn't even get the size of it right.
Measuring things is important. How did she get the size?
You were a child, my dear. Really. It's extraordinary what you were able to describe. Now go on. Tell our friend about it. He's proven his interest in the field.
Reflexively, the lieutenant read his familiar notebook.
Well, it was summer. I was building a racing track out of sand on the beach near a tall stand of reeds. Quite a tall one. Many times my height, I remember. When, all of a sudden...
Wait, where was this and how old were you?
I'm getting ahead of myself. I was 5 and a half in Betancourt in the suburbs. My grandmother had a summer home there.
She'd just started forming memories. Real memories. Not the billowy haze of infanthood. Betoncourt got bombed in the war. It used to be quite near, circa 20 kilometers from here.
The strangest moment of my life. I looked up and one of the reeds moved. Not like a plant, but like a living thing. It stood up and looked at me. Its body unfolded like some antique toy. I've never seen anything like it. I didn't know this can happen, so I reached my arm and touched the thing. It felt just like a stalk of reed, but it moved, swaying, towering above me. After a while, 20 seconds, a minute maybe, it left, went into the reeds. I tried, but I was only a child. There was mud and high water. I couldn't see it anymore. I was just standing there knee-deep in mud, looking around me. I ran back home to my grandmother and asked her if reeds could walk, and told her they were looking at me. Of course, she just laughed at me, but I knew what I'd seen. For years, it was a story I told at parties when I wanted to impress boys. That sort of thing. Of course, most people just took it as a strange, amusing anecdote. So did I, honestly. But then I met Morel.
We were on a date. Can you imagine? She tells me a story, and it's the most detailed report of the Insulindian phasmid I've ever heard. The sounds. She told me it hissed.
So that's how they met. This is beyond significant for them.
It did, yes. Like reeds in a gust of wind.
The way it moved, the colour, how some of its limbs were white, like marble. It matched perfectly with what I know from other accounts. It was amazing. If it weren't for Lena, I might have given up hope years ago. It's no exaggeration to say that she restored my faith in my profession.
Our first, yes.
The glance is tender, yes, but tempered by something else. A thought she can't express, even to him. Interesting.
Not all of them. There is some white coloration reported, along with beige, where the camouflage ends.
It's hard to say how big things are when you're quite small yourself. To me, it seemed to be taller than I was then, but that's probably not the case.
What if it is the case?
I thought it was a wonderful story, man.
How could she? Who imagines this? She didn't know about the phasmid. This is the main thing here, what makes it a confirmed sighting. She had no previous knowledge of the insect.
So she couldn't have made it up, or imagined it.
That's true, yes. I'm almost certain neither my mother nor my grandmother knew of it. It was only when I started telling my story as a teenager that boys would tell me, "Lena, you trying to tell us you saw the Insulindian phasmid out there in those reeds? Get out of here." They just give me a cider and ruffle my hair and tell me to stop dreaming. But I saw it. You're welcome, sweetie. I do appreciate the chance to relive it whenever I get one. It was just such an impossibly sunshiny day. So warm.
And she could get up and walk right into the reeds on her own. Into the mud. Anywhere. Cleaning out the rooms. What if you didn't lose your memory? What if something in Martinez came and stored it all away, for you to slowly open one box at a time, so you can choose which parts to keep? Keep almost none of it. Only the flowers on the windowsill. Only the distant sound of a radio. Lose all the actors, the dark shadows. Leave only the still lifes. The blissful distant wash of waves. If everybody knew, you never did. She'll be coming soon. That is all.
Wow. Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, hello, sweetie. So nice to see you again. Oh, yes. A zoologist. A cryptozoologist, to be more precise.
It's a pseudoscience that attempts to legitimize research into mythological beasts and urban legends.
That's one opinion, yes. And people are entitled to their opinions.
She's used to playing off such insults casually, but they still affect her.
My apologies, ma'am. I did not mean to undermine your hobby.
It's not a hobby, dear. It's a subfield of zoology, one specializing in animal species that are so exceedingly rare that many assume them to be extinct or even fictitious. Searching for such species called cryptids is difficult and often thankless, and frankly, many scientists are too lazy to do it. Universities these days are rarely interested in supporting real research.
The quality of research at Revacholian universities has been on the decline, but you doubt there was ever a time when cryptozoology was embraced by the academic elite. She's completely internalized her husband's struggles. They are her own. There's really no point in manipulating anyone. She'd be only too pleased to tell you about her work. Go on and ask.
Hey, Alina, I'd like to hear some more about the cryptids you studied. Could you tell me about a couple of them?
Oh, I'd be delighted. Truth be told, I could really use the company too.
One cryptid, not a couple. One. This won't turn into some kind of cryptid extravaganza.
Cryptid extravaganza? That sounds great!
And I don't. Just one.
Ooh, tough choice there.
There any invisible cryptids?
What an interesting question. And the answer is yes, there are.
Of course. All fairy tales have someone or something invisible in them.
Shush, Kim. She's gonna tell me about the invisible cryptid. What is it?
It's the Col de Mamadaqua. Its name means thin whisper of sound, and that's precisely what it is. Self-replicating sound waves, invisible and intangible. The Col de Mama is very afraid of us, which makes it incredibly difficult to track.
Col de Mamadaqua can also be translated as a whisper light and low.
Yes, that's another translation. They're both quite lovely, aren't they? Although the low part is a little ironic. The Col de Mamadaqua makes, or rather is, such a high-pitched sound that other animals, including humans, can't hear it. It could be everywhere, all of the time, and we wouldn't know.
Fine, I'll bite. How can an animal be a sound?
Many scientists have asked the same question. Some have claimed that it isn't itself a sound, but a tiny corpuscle that emits sound waves. But there's no evidence to support this theory. It could be. As I said, it could be everywhere. And we wouldn't know any better. It could be ringing all the days of our lives and nights. Plenty. It's the evidence that led to its discovery. In the 1920s, a group of Areopagi ornithologists, that is, scientists who study birds, were trying out a new recording technology for capturing sounds outside the range of human hearing. When playing back recordings they had made in the foothills of the Ea mountain range, they noticed certain anomalies, patterns that seemed random at first, but on closer examination were consistent with the waveforms of songbirds. The scientists soon discovered they could track and even predict what appeared to be feeding, mating, and migration patterns based on sound waves in a strictly delimited range of ultrasonic frequencies, even higher than those of the highest pitched bat calls.
She transforms, when speaking about these strange animals, into a confident woman.
They realized that they had discovered a new species and called it the Coldamamadaqua, after the Paracarnassian name for the voice of God, which is said to be very silent.
Wow.
They grew quite obsessed with these little birds. Even though they couldn't see them, they could distinguish among individual birds and even began to name some of them.
Name them?
Sequester, Time, Joscan. Those are but some of the Mamadaqua they followed individually. That is a sad story. A group of university students assisting with the field work in their enthusiasm for the project, and no doubt because they were preoccupied with impressing their professors, nearly drove it to extinction. They tried to communicate with it and had no other means but sound. So they started sending out sound waves at frequencies they thought might match the Mamadaqwas. And what happens when a sound wave meets another sound wave of the same frequency, dear?
This lady really should be a teacher. She's really good at the explaining things thing. Psst. They cancel each other out. Psst.
They cancel each other out.
Exactly. And these tests were performed so recklessly that when they happened upon the right frequency, well, they wiped out most of the population.
Great regret washes over her. A winding cloth.
After that, the corpuscle appears to have migrated elsewhere. There have been recordings of anomalies similar to those spotted in Ea, but they've been few and far between. It's impossible to confirm the presence of any stable Coldamamadaqua population anywhere.
Of course. A common thread in these. Disappearance and unfalsifiability. I like the story, though, ma'am.
I'm glad you did, dear. What about what? No. It's the cryptid.
Wow, the cryptid?
Oh, yes. The eight-eyed teratorn, the largest flying avian ever discovered, with a wingspan of 11.5 meters. It was thought to have gone extinct 3,500 years ago. Some even doubted the fossils were real. A mutation, they said. Until...
Mutation? All of evolution is a mutation.
Until it was cited by renowned Gotvaldian explorer and naturalist Uwe Plattenkalk in 21.
This renown seems a bit dubious. Your own catalogue comes up completely empty. But, of course, you are not all-knowing.
It happened on a botanical expedition into the vast and unexplored Oamrau Canyon in southeast Ilmara. Dr. Plattenkalk got separated from his group during a sandstorm. The world's largest canyon system, sweetie. It's a barren waste east of the Erg Desert, an ancient riverbed completely dried up. Alone in the blasted desert heat, the doctor wandered eastward, where man hasn't stepped foot in over 1,000 years, since the fall of Pericarnassus. He was lost, without any navigation equipment and desperately low on water. After a day or two, he noticed a bird high in the noon sky. A great black bird. It seemed gargantuan. Every now and then, the bird would dive down to feed on an animal carcass somewhere on the horizon. But by the time Uwe got there, the teratorn had taken off already, and the carcass was picked clean. Yes, or rather, hunting. A bird that big has a lot of blood in it, and he was dying of thirst. For many days, Dr. Plottenkalk followed the Teratorn until they reached a great canyon wall where the bird finally landed to rest. The professor climbed up there with a rock in his hand. He found the bird sleeping with his head tucked under its wing, a great black pile of feathers on the perch. So he approached, slowly squeezing the rock in his fist.
Watch out.
Then the Teratorn suddenly looked at him. He could see it had 8 eyes, 4 on either side of its skull, like a spider. And the man couldn't move. He was paralyzed, frozen into place with the rock in his hand. Whatever he did, he could not get closer to the bird. The bird was controlling his mind. It kept him from approaching. He could step back, but every time he stepped forward, paralysis. Uwe spent 3 days trying until the bird flew away. The 8-eyed Teratorn was indifferent to him, as long as he didn't get closer than 2 steps. It even let him feed on some carcasses up there, and the 2 unfertilized eggs it left behind.
An 8-eyed, mind-controlling bird? Fuck yes.
Absolutely, sweetie. Cryptozoologists have been tracing it ever since, but Wamrau is vast, mysterious, and holds many secrets.
Modern radar telemetry shows great promise. We will confirm this one by the end of the decade, latest.
This one I liked. Not only does it have 8 eyes, and is a living fossil, and the largest bird ever to live, it also does mind control.
He's sincere. He likes the audacity of it.
Sadly, yes, but there are numerous reports of 8-eyed bird skulls from Ilmara. And then there's the striking resemblance to the Pericarnassian imperial eagle, an ancient heraldic symbol that is hard to pass off as coincidence. The imperial eagle, too, had 8 eyes.
Not really. It's just stylization. The way they drew eyes. It's not a zoological drawing.
Very, very hard.
This one's very famous. Everyone knows it. People will be looking at that tie on you and thinking, that man is into cryptids. So, what else do you want to know?
What's the biggest cryptid?
Hey, you promised you'd only ask about one cryptid.
But Kim, don't you want to hear about another cryptid too? We just heard about the big bird. You loved that one.
The lieutenant pauses thoughtfully. Something in him breaks.
Yay!
Ah, fuck it. Let's have more cryptids.
Cryptids!
Well, the biggest cryptid is, of course, the horrible giant of Kokonur.
Fuck yeah! Fucking cryptids. Let's fucking go. I'm fucking amped. Tell me about this horrible giant.
The giant lives in the most arid parts of the vast Kokonur Desert in South Samara, casting a strange light across the barren wastes.
What do you mean, strange light?
Mirage or psychogenous luminance.
Just how big is it?
No one knows for sure. It is like an awful mountain appearing from below the horizon and expanding to cover almost a third of your field of vision.
Is it dangerous?
The towering luminosity of Kokonur is a bad omen in local folklore. Some say it's a fata morgana, others, fate unimaginable.
Hui. No animal can be that large. It's a mirage.
Kim literally calls Hui on this.
That's what makes it so peculiar. A species surviving at the very limits of scientific law. The giant of Kokonur must be the largest animal the planet can support.
Wow.
There are limits, you see, to how large a metabolism an ecosystem can beget. Some say a gravity anomaly below the Kokonur Desert might allow the creature to grow to these gargantuan sizes.
Gravity anomaly. Digging it. Digging this parascientific stuff right here.
What's the tiniest cryptid?
Cryobacter catlensis. Yes, a unicellular bacterium that was discovered in one of the northernmost points of Kotla on the Boreal Plateau by renowned geologist Caitlin Mijanou some 70 years ago. The bacterial colony Mijanou found had remained alive while frozen in ice for longer than anyone could reliably estimate, certainly from before recorded history. Mijanou disappeared shortly after injecting herself with the bacteria she had brought back to study, no doubt in hopes of prolonging her own life. Yes, the bacteria had survived in the ice since times immemorial. It is not hard to see where she could have gotten the idea.
It's actually a little hard to see, but do go on.
Yes, and she's quite mad, too. After she treated herself with the bacteria, she stopped aging, but also became increasingly eccentric and irascible, so that even her oldest friends were forced to pull away.
Well,
we can assume that she has been living somewhere in the wilderness for decades now, all alone except for the Cryobacter catlensis coursing through her bloodstream.
Well then, what's the most dangerous cryptid?
The gnome of Jeroma.
Ooh, sounds terrifying.
Oh, yes. None of its victims survived. Grieving relatives never even found their bodies because the gnome's venom dissolved organic tissue.
Jesus.
It was reportedly a small creature with webbed fingers and a protruding forehead and an ungainly little thing. Quite scary to look at. A couple of campers found it when it was already dying. They heard an odd wailing in the woods and followed the sound. They were scared and wrapped it in tarpaulin to suffocate it. It still took the gnome of Jeroma an entire day to die.
If the body of the creature was found, why aren't there detailed illustrations of it in science textbooks, confirming the existence of this very little species?
Alas, the first scientist who got his hands on the creature's corpse put it in a jar of formaldehyde, thinking that would detoxify the gnome's venom. Instead, all the venom leaked out of the creature's teeth and into the surrounding liquid, dissolving the creature itself. A poetic end, perhaps, but a real loss for science.
Alas, always alas, and then it was gone. Isn't that overly convenient?
I understand your skepticism, but that's what happens with things that are rare and stand out. Their disappearance is most memorable, and they are least likely to be found again.
Well, this has been educational. Sorry I was a little bit rude.
Of course, dear.
That's all for now. Alright, let's check out this tie. What am I thinking? Perception? Nah. Yeah, thinking about it. Might want to have that.
East Delta Commerce Center? This must be the name of the doomed commercial area. An off-key melody. Stop.
Kuno, please stop calling here. Grown-ups don't have time for your stupid games.
She thinks you're the gremlin child. What would he say to this?
Fuck off, pig. I'm cool now. I don't give a shit. Let me in.
Pardon? This is not Kuno. Who is this? Please just stop calling here. I don't have time to deal with this. Thank you.
A single beep indicates that you hear the same waiting room music, but no one picks up the receiver anymore. You ring the doorbell, but no one answers. What an ominous name for a hair salon. Doesn't bode well for anyone's hair. All you hear is static, but no one answers the call. You ring the doorbell, but nothing happens. Try again. You didn't press it hard enough.
Thank you for calling the 24-hour window company. This is an automated message. Are you experiencing a window-related emergency? During non-business hours, please call 00725 477 651. The streets are mean, but we're always there for you.
That's only half true. The streets are mean, but they're not there for you.
No.
No, not a window-related one.
12 name cards on the call box read. You wait for a minute or two, but all you get from the call box is silence. No one answers the call. Looks like someone has melted half the plastic off with a lighter. The doorbell doesn't work anymore. You hear static from the intercom speaker. It sounds as if someone has picked up the receiver but isn't saying anything. You can almost hear them breathe.
Yes, hello. This is Tricentennial Electric. Have you come?
She sounds almost antique, as if her voice was being played off an old wax cylinder. A receiver must not be working properly. Wait, but what happened to Slipstream SCA? There's no Tricentennial Electrics on the list.
My God.
The lieutenant exchanges a look with you.
It's you. My God. I didn't think I would hear your voice.
She must be mistaking you for someone else. Who cares that you don't remember her? Just go along with it.
Michelle, just please. Why did you even call? I don't understand. You've been gone for months. I thought you didn't care. Ever since I came to work here, it's been as if my mind's been wiped clean.
A spot of static overrides her words. When she speaks again, it sounds like she's submerged.
It's so nice. It's so nice to be able to finally meet again.
She sounds like she's about to cry. She doesn't answer. Silence. The only thing you can hear now is static and waves washing ashore on the bay. Another seagull passes by. It's getting cold standing here, staring at the silent call box.
I don't know what happened either. We should probably stop playing with this thing.
You press the number sign on the keypad that terminates the call. 12 name cards on the call box read. No. Hold on. The last thing you need in your life is more hysteric emotions. Forget it. Find something else to do.
Fine.
Silence. No one's home at Fortress Accident. Silence. No one answers the doorbell. Nothing happens after you ring the doorbell. They don't want to talk to you. Silence. No one answers your call. This button.
This button looks new.
Alright. Damn, I can't level up my volition anymore. Well, dang. Let's see. Pretty close to having Wasteland and Reality done. Here, I want to go in here and buy stuff.
Hello again, esteemed officer. Okay, but please, only a few questions. Yes, the Simonees are very crafty.
The woman looks...
Then why are you talking to me?
She smiles.
Hi, Ace Detective. Are you here for more books?
Yeah, I guess so.
A small mountain of colorful board game and endless variety. There's also books in a board game section. Who wants to read books? There's a box that says that price is steep, but then it's the 3rd edition Mega Setting supplement, so it makes sense.
Wonderful Browbritter is a fun game of economic competition, but can get quite intense after a while. We have games for the whole family. You can play with your children.
Yes, kids, friends, chicks, I have all of those, totally.
Then you're a lucky man, officer. Children are the greatest of treasures. For playing with friends, I'd recommend Suzerainty. It's a civilization building game where you build a civilization, then set off to brutally colonize and repress other civilizations. It'll cost 12 real. Lousy auras there. No, role-playing games are popular among those types. I've heard they turn people into occult enthusiasts. That they have rituals where they try to summon entities. Highly immoral stuff. You can still buy them, though.
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian on the cover. Nearly all the titles contain the word Hyamdal. So rows and rows of Hyamdalam, maybe 100, not even close. Man from Hyamdal in hell, mountains of it, heroic quantities of Hyamdal. Roy's puny shirt is nothing compared to the real deal.
Yeah, nothing else I have really is gonna increase my pain threshold. Oh no, that does. Okay. Let's give it a go.
The display rack is brimming with worn paperback. A twinge at the back of your head makes you flinch. Your eye starts twitching.
Ow.
Your hand reaches to between the throne and the Hyamdala man. Like the display rack before you is burdened under piles of man from Hyamdal, mountains of it. Heroic quantities of Hyamdal. Roy's puny shirt is nothing compared to the real deal.
Kinda wanna buy that, kinda don't. See, it is an unfortunate thing that I am broke as hell right now. So, maybe I could sell some stuff, but I don't know what exactly I would want to sell. Oh yeah, I think I can sell the smart speakers. Yeah, that'll give me a good chunk of change. Roy.
Hello. Sure, let me have a look. Anything else you're thinking of selling?
Let's sell this guy. And I don't know. Could sell that, but I don't know yet.
Another time, perhaps.
Alright. Maybe I should level that up, but I don't know. Yeah, fuck it. Give me this. Yeah, it's fine. I didn't ruin this thought, did I? No, okay. I didn't. Oh, it's time. Still got 5 hours left. Goddamn. Could get my endurance up to 6. Part of me kind of wants to. Yeah, fuck it. Why not? I'll do it. I do whatever I want. Now.
These shelves, a couple of spook novels hide and crime fic. These books further. What's more, not a single mention. You
Sure
see,
thing.
a killing is declared. Oh, no.
Dick Mullen dies?
Yes, tragedy. Wait a minute. All this told us nothing about who Dick Mullen actually is. You're a tin.
Oh, you're a police officer.
Shelves filled to the brim with crime novels featuring the supposedly stalwart Vespertine detective. Your quick eye notices a worn paperback. Could it be the motifs of unstable identities? Then
Hell
this is
yeah.
the book for you.
Ooh, $7.99.
Of course. Such violence and immorality. I mean, enjoy.
Leave. Anything here?
The plaque on the shelf reads, browsing suddenly, high speed next to.
I really must.
She understands she is ill.
I'm sorry. I would say the book is also very daring. The author, perhaps.
Do her words seem vague and abstract to you?
Certainly. It's prudent for a person to have at least an elementary understanding of history and society. A true cultural touchstone.
Alright.
Several the maps look old and faded. This large ozone disintegrating into mathematics. You can, on Caillou, lost little pearls of light. Tiny fires in the dark. 850 million people live on these little dots. An oceanic world of culture and commerce torn apart by history. The ocean breaks apart into a tangle of cosines and azimuths, all pointing into pale nothingness. Windy is the north azimuth. Grad is the northeast azimuth. Samara is the east azimuth. Sail is the west azimuth. Isolas, they're called. 850 million people live on these tiny dots. An oceanic world of culture and commerce, torn apart by history. The north coast of to the east, Hudon. It's so small you can't. No, this is somewhere to be. This is all you have. But it's still something. Streets and sodium lights, the sky, the world. You're still alive.
I'm sorry, officer. The map of Martinez is the only one available. The other two are not for sale anymore. And besides, you could scarcely afford them. They're quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents, though. That old thing, from when some...
The place does not look like a successful tourist trap, does it?
They didn't get that far, for some reason. A shame the project never got going. Would be nice if someone fixed Martinez up. All these ruins are bad for business.
Yeah. Alright.
This bookstore is not amidst these three things are the point of the book, and many others on this shelf, is to give people medicinal advice. It serves wholeness. When it's up, it's your own fault. The book features. There's even a chapter on the ancient.
I can't have you end up, like, opening a police store next door and stealing my customers. Oh no!
Oh, I can't
This
look through that.
bookstore is not strictly about crime. Amidst these, the point of the book, various paranatural books.
Okay then.
The display rack is brimming with worn paper.
It is a bestseller for a reason.
Alright. Now I got a whole bunch of books to read. And I'm going to finally call the library.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Hold on, officer. I've got Central Jamrock Public Library on the line, and I've already introduced you to their librarian. Connecting the call in 2, 1.
Yes, this is Central Jamrock Public Library here. How can I help you, officer?
He sounds worried, yet ready to assist. This is how people get when the police call.
I'm looking for information that you can provide on Billy Majin, reader?
Billy Majon, you said.
Oh, Majon.
Give me a moment, I'll have to check our database. Yes, hello, are you still there? I found Billy Majon's home address, is that alright? No phone number, unfortunately.
They're too poor to have a phone line.
Here we go, sir. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33B, apartment number 20. It's in Martinez, I believe. Capeside Apartments, it says. That's all.
That's where the smoker on the balcony lives, isn't it?
It says here that they returned their last book just a few days ago, but I wasn't at work that day. Marie? Marie? Do you remember a reader named Billy Majon? They returned a Tybalt book the other day.
Maurice, what? A woman yells. Then, yes, okay, if it was the police.
Yes, it was my colleague Marie. She said that it was Billy's husband who returned the book. He also asked for this new sci-fi release, Lowe's Radio City 87, but we don't have it yet.
Good. You have a name now.
Marie knows Billy. She's been working here longer than me. Sometimes her husband returns some books for her.
And then goes for a little drink later. On the lookout.
Sorry, no. Marie only knows him by sight. Marie? She said it was an older man, and that she's pretty sure he'd had a drink or two the last time she saw him. 1 second. Sorry, Marie wasn't really paying any attention to that.
No, that's alright. Thank you. That's all from me. I have no other questions.
Happy we could help. Goodbye, officer.
Anything else you need from me? Just a moment.
10-4, come in, officer. Over.
10-4,
sir. Sorry, but I'm 10-4. Orders as your orders. Roger that. 10-10, over.
Alright. Well, we're all done here. And
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
catch you later. Alright. Change up my look a little bit. Oh, let's keep that. Go for these. Yeah, there we go.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Well, in a little bit. A little bit. I'll try that. Oh, it's this apartment. Ah.
A weathered brown door. The number reads 20. Something smells good. Soup allongio. The lieutenant motions to you to go ahead and knock.
You're right. Let's talk this through.
You hear some light footsteps and what appears to be a daily weather forecast playing on the radio.
We have our first preliminary identification. In all likelihood, the deceased is the husband of Billy Méjean. We need to confirm this, as well as deliver the death notification to Billy herself. Now, delivering a death notification is never an easy task. There's a reason why it's often called the most stressful part of our job. This is why it's usually done in pairs. You got this. I'll be monitoring reactions, ready to act if necessary. Dad? Just don't say that you know how they feel. You don't.
Good advice. The lieutenant motions towards the door.
Hello? Who is it?
And someone turns down the radio. He gives you a short, encouraging nod.
No.
The police. A moment, please give us a moment.
Tidying up. Nervously. There's fear in her voice.
Come in. The door is open.
Hello. Don't mind me, I'm just trying to, as respectfully as possible, snoop around the house. Oh. Hello, Tim.
I'm Billy. Would you like something to drink? Tea? Lemonade? We're out of coffee. I was supposed to get some tomorrow.
The lieutenant has taken off his foggy glasses and is busy cleaning them in his handkerchief for now. You're on your own here. Condensation from stepping inside. He must feel vulnerable without his glasses. Is this why he's letting you take the lead?
Thanks, but I'm alright.
Is this about Victor, my husband? Is he in some kind of trouble again? No. This is something much worse. Is he in a hospital? How bad is it?
How about some small talk before you break the news? You've done this before. Just keep your focus.
What did you say? Oh. But he was just...
But he was just here. Alive.
We understand this comes as a huge shock. I want you to know that me and my partner are here for you if you have any questions. Take your time, ma'am.
What happened to him? Was he drunk? I see. And you just found him there, lying in the cold. How long had he been there?
If you say 2 days maybe, it will be etched in her mind forever. She blinks, eyes welling up with tears, as her hand starts searching for something from the pockets of her dress. The handkerchief. A small, terrified smile quivers on her face as she takes the handkerchief and wipes away the tears. She looks disoriented.
Is there anyone we could call for you? A friend, a family member, someone who could be here for you?
No. I just need to tell my girls.
Unreal.
God. Should I call them? Should I tell them to come home?
No. A day.
Good. That's probably the right thing. Thank you.
She can't take much more. Her stomach is churning. Soon she will have to go to the bathroom and scream.
Just tell me, what do I need to do next? Where is he? Can I see him?
We've taken him to the city morgue. The local coroner will be contacting you shortly to arrange the funeral. Here's his number in case you want to contact him earlier.
A very good call.
Is there anything else that the RCM could do for you?
No, I'll call you if something comes up. I'm still... Thank you. Thank you for telling me. I'll call if...
We should step outside and talk. You did well.
What now?
I'll call the station when we're finished with the day, and let them know the name of the deceased.
That's it?
That's it. We should get back to our case now that our duty here is done. They'll manage.
They have to. It's not your place to live their lives.
Let's go.
Hey. I did it. I seemingly did the impossible. Not really, but that's a sad thing. Oh, I can try that again. Alright. Some more conceptualization going on. I don't think anything else is really gonna help me conceptualize. Yeah, no. I had so many things to interact with, though.
A police badge on which you see the photo. The bullet is still safely sealed away. It's just a racist mug. Oh boy, here we go. What are you going to say about a broken, tossed-away mug that you dug out of the garbage? So again, you dug it out of the trash. Why?
It was important to the case. Don't worry about it.
An intricate... The pattern still kind of has gone. There it is again. The front of this quarterly journal features a large satirical portrait of the late King Friesel. From the sides of his head, a pair of white antlers spread to the corners of the cover. Because Friesel was incompetent, foolish, and cruel. In short, the embodiment of everything the communards wished to overthrow. It's satire, you see. To your disappointment, there aren't any full-color pictures to direct your attention. Just column after column of closely set text, interrupted occasionally by little doodles in black and white. No advertisements, you notice. So who's funding this radical commentary? After rifling the pages with your thumb several times, you return to the table of contents. The magazine is divided into several sections. International developments, Kunst und Kultur, and local concerns. Just inside the cover, there's also an editor's note. Comrade, as you know, This journal takes its name from Mazov's immortal expression, du cristal à la fumée. This was his way of describing the way the rigid, crystalline structures of capitalist ideology turned to smoke under communism. But, like the structures of capitalist ideology, we too are at risk of going à la fumée. Unlike many publications which are content to spoon-feed their readers reassuring drivel, La Fumée is committed to telling the radical truth, even when that truth may drive away potential subscribers. Only 4 issues in, and it sounds like they've already alienated their readership. Perhaps they've overestimated the market demand for this kind of commentary. So please, if you value our radical Mazovian perspective on contemporary politics, culture, and international affairs, please consider subscribing today. Yours in struggle, the editors.
Kim, it's a communist magazine.
What do you expect? It was laying around the office of the Debarders Union. They're probably bankrolling the thing.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you. This section includes a long, tedious critique of the latest round of free trade negotiations between the EPIS nations and the Free State of Semenine. You also skip over an article about heavy fuel oil smuggling along the Messina border, something about bear wrestling in Samara, book riots in Yugograd. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Bear wrestling. Flip back to that.
Alright, let's see what bear wrestling is all about.
It seems to be part of a new public fitness initiative in the People's Republic of Samara, SRV, devised and promoted by none other than President Kanajinsky himself. According to this extremely credulous account, Uncle Sport, as he's affectionately known to his people, has recently decreed bear wrestling the national sport of the SRV.
Tell me about Uncle Sport.
Based on the description in this article, he appears to be an extremely competent and democratically elected president. Sapormat Sport Kanajinsky is well into his 3rd decade as president of the SRV. Outside Samara, he's known for 3 things: brutal repression of internal dissent, monumental corruption, and a near pathological obsession with physical fitness.
Oh man, sounds like a great leader for a country.
It's quite straightforward. A standard match features one man, or in some cases woman, against one bear. 2 competitors, 1 ring, 5 rounds, or until incapacitation. According to the SRV's Ministry of Information, the program has been a tremendous success. Public support stands at 87%, and youth obesity and alcoholism rates are down 12% and 7% respectively. This is the SRV we're talking about. If you think those are the real numbers, there's probably a guy who wants to sell you a bridge in Lachette. What are you, a statistician? Did the moral intern send you on a fact-finding mission? This is the SRV party line, comrade.
The Samaran People's Republic? No, I should expect not. Why do you ask?
I was thinking it might be fun to partake in a bear fight.
I suppose that would be something to see.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
What about Kunst und Kultur, or in Kultur?
It takes a moment, but gradually it dawns on you that Kunst und Kultur must mean arts and culture. Why they decided to title this one section in Volda is beyond you. Obviously because it's cool to drop random phrases in foreign languages. As you leaf through this section, you come across several reviews of recent radio plays, as well as a brief artist spotlight featuring a local artist identified only as CS. The main feature, though, is a long essay titled Tip Top Tournée, a critical Mazovian perspective. The Tip Top Tournée is an inter-Isolari racing series. mostly known for its high speeds, ludicrous sponsorship deals, and high death toll. In Revachol, it's held quadrennially on the prestigious Zero Carousel racing circuit. This so-called artist spotlight is really just a brief Q&A, made all the briefer by the subject's evident hostility to her interviewer.
Alright, let's see what these communists have to say about Tip Top.
You think you're settling in for a relaxing recap of the most recent season, maybe sprinkled with some nice anecdotes about a few of the more colorful drivers. Instead, you find yourself skimming a 10,000-word feature about all the politically problematic aspects of Tip Top Tourney.
Wait, what's wrong with Tip Top?
Where to even start? For one, there's the crass commercialism of its sponsorships. And then there's the practically criminal emphasis on deadly motor crashes. So, all of it, basically. Oddly enough, this article has 2 bylines. Nasteb Encolada Bernal and Exilus Buka. Just a moment. Those names seem awfully familiar. Under capitalism, the article says, every pursuit has its price. Every pleasure, even one as elemental as the joy of racing others around a track, is reduced to an advertising opportunity. Thus, the so-called tourney becomes a competition between increasingly meaningless brand signifiers. Your discount laundry detergent racing against a pack of Astra cigarettes, or even a fritter. And that precisely is what's problematic about it. Were it not for the promise of random, spectacular violence, audiences would quickly lose interest. At the end of the day, it's the destruction of these 750,000 real races that you're really watching for.
Wow, you're right. I really am just in it for the violence.
You see, one cannot avoid the conclusion that Tip Top Tourney is simply the apotheosis of spectacular entertainment under capitalism.
I can safely say the thought had never crossed my mind, Detective. I'm sure most things are, if the young men who wrote this article are to be believed. If I had to wager, I'd say they've never even seen the inside of a motor, much less a motor race. I take whatever they write with a large grain of salt.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you. Unsurprisingly, much of this section is taken up with articles declaring unqualified support for the dock workers' strike. You skim the headlines. Paint the harbor red and white. Martinez tames the wild pines. A city in revolt. First we take Martinez, then we take La Delta. Finally, there's a brief article by the writer, G. Martin, accusing the owner of the Capeside Apartments of illegally attempting to evict certain communist tenants simply for not having paid their rent. Ah, this must be Gaston's handiwork.
Damn communists should have killed a lot of them when they had the chance. Charging rent just to live somewhere is pretty outrageous. Would it be better for everyone if labor and capital could reach some reasonable combination? No. Fuck you. Rent sucks.
The writer G. Martin remarks dryly that capitalists love wealth redistribution, so long as it's only redistributed upward. Good thing your rent-paying days are behind you. You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
All right. Hey. Then. Oh, there we go.
Aces high. For the rest of the world, the Aces High is just a cool Revachol thing, politically neutral. In Revachol, it still holds revolutionary connotations. Also, have you looked at Lieutenant Kitsuragi's clothes? He wears a bomber jacket. just like the ones worn by aerostatic brigades, and those cargo pants could store tools for hot-fixing your aerostatic. Maybe you should ask him about this.
Ooh, maybe I should.
Yes? What about me? What? This? It's just seasonal clothing. Where is this going? Interesting. I think it's called the brain.
It's no mere brain.
Okay, art cup. I do not harbor a sentiment for revolutionary air brigades in particular. Okay, I wanted to become an aerostatic pilot. Then I turned 10 and realized we no longer have an air force. Absolutely nothing.
The revolutionary must have added a little luster to it for a 10-year-old Kitsuragi. He will never admit it, though.
Okay, I admit to it. The revolution employed a more forward-looking 8-rotor design. Their blades were foldable and their pilots were better trained and motivated. I see this from a purely tactical standpoint, of course.
It is not from a purely tactical standpoint. We are not ruling out that the lieutenant had a little rebel phase in that past of his.
Good. Good. Let's change the subject.
Man, I love Kim. Kim's great. No, I could try and go for it.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
No, I've come to try this check.
They do say the painter always paints his own portrait.
Man, that's lame. I'm gonna load this save and try it again.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire...
They do say the painter... No, it's great.
That's pretty fucked up. Even for you, piggo. I think everyone would rather you didn't. You're a real sad sack. You know that? Go ahead then. Art it up. Just try not to hurt yourself. And no self-portraits.
Aww.
Sure, anytime. Us shit artists have to help one another. Besides, I was out of fuel oil anyway.
The right idea is not coming to her. It's excruciating. You know what you've got in that fuel canister you scavenged from your Kanema? Red-dyed heavy fuel oil. Paint and a brush. You're ready to do this.
I'm not, though. I failed. Alright, I'm gonna give it one more try.
Hello again, officers.
And if the third time
to admire my mural
is not the charm, then I shall give up.
They do say the painter always paints his own portrait.
Alright, well, you know, I ain't painting nothing. Oh, it's almost 2:34. I want to wait till it's at least 2:34 before we get the stream ending. I'm not talking about the length of the stream, I'm talking about the actual time itself. It's 8:34 in the morning for me because I am crazy and a gamer, you know. I just gotta live that gamer life. Have this sort of wacky sleep schedule, you know. Uh, it's all part of my character, really. You know, my persona. Uh, 5 Royale. But yeah, no, I am very much looking forward to continuing this tomorrow, and I'm hoping tomorrow will be the day I beat this, which I'm so excited for. So tomorrow is the day, or actually, it'll be later today. More more than likely, it'll be after uh, midnight tomorrow, so it will be 2 days, or not tomorrow, today. Fuck. Time's confusing. It's all an illusion, alright? Look, it's fine. Just do whatever you want with it. But, you know, don't go too crazy. Don't be too mean, you know? Life's a pain for everyone. Should try to make it less so. Or not. I'm not your boss, but you know what I am. You know what I really am. A communist. Alright. Peace.